Right. We can share it with anybody who misses the meeting. So the agenda for today, I would like us to go over the itinerary in case anybody has forgotten about like where we are going, when, how. And also, I wanted us to get a couple of volunteers to help manage a few things. So we have a group from Kenya. I think it's gonna be like 15 people that work in dentistry that gonna be joining us. Some are not in dentistry. We have, I think, two pharmacists. We might have a medical doctor or two, and maybe a nurse join us on the mission as well. So I think we can start by going through the main itinerary, and then we're gonna zoom in. We're gonna focus on on the day of the mission because that's the main day that we have a lot to accomplish. So I'm gonna share my screen to open the itinerary. If anybody has any questions, please post them to the chat, and we're gonna answer them at the end of the meeting. So let me share my screen here in a minute. So I hope everybody can see it, and I hope everybody has received this document. It might change a few things along the way, nothing major, just maybe slight changes. So the reason why we do not have specific time on this itinerary is because things in Africa do not work the same as in the US. We might say we're gonna start at 9 and then we start at 9:30 or 9:15. So we might go to the game drive and let's say we say our dinner is 7 p.m. and then we find something interesting happening in the national park. Sometimes you can find lions hunting, and maybe we are following lions that are hunting, and we might extend our time. So that's why there's no specific time, but when we get to the mission, we're gonna be doing these timings like day by day. That's when we're gonna be putting our time. So let me first start by saying, everybody, thank you so much. We truly appreciate you being part of this. It's a life-changing adventure for you and for the people we'll be helping out there in Kenya. Not just the patients that we're gonna see, but when we do these trips, sometimes even the people that work in the tourism industry, the guides, the drivers, the people at the hotels, we help them to earn a livelihood for them. So when you choose to do something like this, it's not just the patients that you'll be seeing. You're also supporting the local economy. So you keep those people employed by doing something like this. So let me so the activities. So on 1st of June is arrival. So for the arrival, I'm hoping at this point everybody has filled the arrival form. If you have not, please make sure that form is filled correctly. We will double check and triple check. Please check your flight. If there are changes in your flight, let us know because we don't want you to be stranded in the airport. Most important as well, make sure you have WhatsApp. I'll be very vigilant in my WhatsApp, my Facebook. I'll share a couple more numbers on WhatsApp that you can reach if you can't reach me. So if let's say your connecting flight is in Europe and stuff happen, you miss your connecting flight, now your flight is coming the next day. I'm hoping nothing like that happens, but things like those happen. Make sure you let us know. That way we do not have somebody at 12 a.m. waiting for you at the airport, but your flight was changed because they cannot leave the airport until they get hold of you. So if something changes, hey, when you get to your connecting flight, let us know in the group, privately. Just send a message. Say, hey, I'm in Amsterdam. I'm connecting. I'm in London. I'm whatever. I'm in Frankfurt. I'm about to do my connection. If your flight changes, please let us know. When you get to Nairobi, the Wi-Fi there works amazingly. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
So when you get to the airport, unlike other airports, they do not let our guides get all the way inside to get you. We're still trying to make sure to see if we could do that, but they're very strict. They do not want anybody who is not traveling to be inside the airport. There is a letter that I'm going to share with everybody. If somebody stops at the airport, say, hey, why are you carrying all these needles? Why are you carrying all these dental materials? So if it comes to that, very rarely, it won't happen, never happened. You can show them that letter and say, hey, I'm here for dental mission with Safari and Smiles. Here is the letter for the approval for the mission from the Minister of Health. If it comes to that. And also, I'll be monitoring like when you arrive. We're gonna have a representative inside the airport in case of anything who can, help take care of things. But there's nothing like that that's gonna happen. But just have it. Take a screenshot of it, have it on your phone. Please charge your phone on the flight. Don't use your phone too much watching movies and then forget to charge it. Then you get to Nairobi and your phone is dead. So at least make sure your phone is charged. Take the charger with you. That way, when you arrive, we know. We're gonna know
Morris,
anyway. Yes.
may I ask, you said that you will send us that letter to have,
Yes. I'm gonna send a letter to everybody saying thank you for coming for this mission, this and that. So everybody gonna get that letter before you come for the mission. So somebody's working on it in Kenya. That way, if somebody stops you and say, why are you carrying all this stuff? You can say, okay, it's for a mission, and here's the letter for the mission.
okay, thank
So
you.
it doesn't have to be specific of dental materials that you're bringing.
No, like I mean, nobody's really gonna bother you, but I'm saying just in case, it's good for you to have it. That way, if somebody stops you, say, hey, I'm here for a mission trip, here's the letter. That's why I'm carrying all these needles. That's why I'm carrying all these SDF. That's why I'm carrying all these tools. So another thing, when you arrive in Nairobi, it's very common for most people to actually find people traveling in the same airline. So as soon as we share that list, try to find somebody connecting through your own connection. Make sure that the flight that you share is not the one from States to Europe or whatever your connection is. Because some people share this flight and it's from the US to Europe, which is of no help to us. Make sure that you are sharing the last leg of the journey, which is to Nairobi. So when you get to Nairobi, we have somebody waiting for you. They're gonna be holding a big banner written Safari and Smiles. They will be outside the airport. And we will all arrive at different terminals. So there's of course a big terminal for international arrivals, but sometimes there could be different terminals. So wherever your flight is coming, somebody is gonna be out there with Safari and Smiles. If you don't see anybody, call, text using WhatsApp or regular message. If you want to have a local line in Kenya, if you want to have network throughout, you could buy a regular line at the airport. You just need your passport to purchase a local line.
Yeah, I need a SIM card.
You need a SIM card, yeah. So they just need your passport. If you want to purchase it, purchase some data, you can do that, or you can do roaming, like Verizon and all that, they can do roaming as well. But most places, if, for example, we're in all the hotels we are using, they are very fast and reliable Wi-Fi. Most of the other places we are going, like we're deep inside the national parks, even when we have a Kenyan line, it's not helpful. The network is super slow. So to me, I don't see like big need for you to have your Wi-Fi. And also, You don't want to be out there instead of enjoying the moments, you're just browsing the internet. So, and it's super slow anyway. But if you want to exchange money, you do it at the airport as well. So accommodation for the night. So once you arrive, it will be a short distance from the airport. I'm thinking 10, 15 minutes. We're going to transfer you to Eka Hotel. If you arrive in earlier, the same details will apply to you. If you arrive a day earlier, 2 days earlier, same details will apply for you.
So Morris, can I stop you for a minute? Are we supposed to get, if we're going to exchange money at the airport, we do that before we go outside and find our contact person?
And you do that before you get out.
Okay,
You do that before you get out, and I believe there might other be places to exchange, but airport is where you get a really good rate.
okay. But
Can I
do that
suggest something?
before we go outside and meet the person that's going to meet us. So we do that inside the airport before we go outside.
Yes, inside the airport is very safe.
Okay.
So, and also I have to tell you, most places in Kenya do accept Visa, MasterCard, and all that. So if you're gonna convert to Kenyan currency, right now the dollar is doing really good against the Kenyan currency. It used to be like $1 was equivalent to 100 Kenya shillings. Now it's like 130. So most people, if you're gonna tip the guides, and we do recommend you tip our guides. If you tip the guides, the drivers, dollars is acceptable, Kenya shillings is acceptable. Some places where we stop you to buy like souvenirs, we try to stop you in places that are a little bit high end, like they accept Visa, debit, all that, like Visa or MasterCard, they accept them because we don't want you like walking around with a bunch of cash. So make sure, don't forget to notify your bank that you're traveling, because sometimes you get there, you try to call them, there's no way to get hold of them. It's so hard. They're gonna say, oh, we are sending you a text message to verify. You have no cell phone network with your life. I get in trouble with that all the time because I forget, and then they say, oh, we're gonna send you a text message verification. So hard. So the next day, so Eka Hotel that evening, we're gonna request them to keep the restaurant open for as long as possible. They have a restaurant, they provide dinner. Dinner is not group because we are all arriving at different times. Otherwise, we'd have loved to do a group dinner. But when you arrive, dinner is not covered. Some people buy food at the airport when they come, or it's too late. Sometimes international flights to Kenya, most of them arrive past 10 p.m. So you can get a snack or something at the hotel. We're gonna request them to keep open for as long as possible. So the next morning, which is the 2nd of June, we have a little bit early morning start. So when you arrive, please try to get some rest because we are starting early. If you can, try not to sleep on the plane on the last part of the journey, because if you sleep, jet lag is gonna hit you so hard. And the next day when you're exploring, you'll be asleep again, and you're gonna be up all night on the night of the fast. So if you can do anything not to sleep on the last part of the journey, that would be really good. That when you get to the hotel, you just check in straight to your room, freshen up, get some rest. Then the next day, get up around maybe 6:30 or 7. We're gonna have group breakfast on this morning. So breakfast is on us, it's covered. We're gonna have a little bit of a briefing. We're gonna have a group briefing during breakfast or after breakfast, because some people prefer to skip breakfast. But then our first stop will be the Nairobi National Park. Nairobi National Park, from where we will be, is like I'm thinking with the morning traffic in Nairobi, it might take us like half an hour maximum to get there. and then it's another short ride, maybe 10 minutes. So Nairobi National Park, we are looking for animals like lions, rhinos. They have rhinos there. They have giraffes. The only animal you cannot see there at Nairobi National Park is elephants. But they do have the big five, apart from the elephant, of course. Then we're heading to Giraffe Center. You get to feed the giraffes up close and personal, touch them, be careful. They are known to, sometimes they push people with their hand. No, you can see the picture here. So they are known to knock people off with their hand like this. So just be careful. They are wild. They are not like in the zoo, like they are wild giraffes. They are just so used to people. So just be careful. Then after that, we'll drive nearby to Karen Brixton Garden. There's a lot of birds to see. We're gonna have lunch there. And then we're gonna drive to Chuka. We're gonna head to Eastern Kenya, which is like 3 hours drive. I would say 3 to 3.5 hours drive. We're gonna have bathroom breaks along the way. So you're gonna have bathroom break along the way. There's lots and lots to see in this 3-hour drive. There's a lot of change in terrain from city to suburbs to the villages, and then your city becomes more and more village. Then we go to Mount Kenya region. When we arrive, we're gonna go to visit a coffee farm. So this is like to see how coffee is processed, how they grow the coffee, how they process it. So this coffee farm is roughly like 15 minutes from the hotel where we're gonna be staying. So, one second, please, sorry. Babe, you can. Sorry, everybody. It's my boys jumping around. So, when we arrive at the coffee farm, we're gonna see how they process the coffee and all that. I know most people by this time they'll be exhausted from the day. And if you want, so we're gonna meet the people that work in this coffee farm. Most of them, like you'll see, are women. So women, some of them children who work in the farm, like just to help their parents. If you want, they would appreciate a donation. $1, $2, it doesn't matter. You can leave them with something, because I know they'll be very excited to receive us. Then in the evening, we're gonna have a welcome dinner. Now we go to our hotel, we check in, we have refreshments, we check in to our rooms. Those with donations to give, we're gonna leave them at the lobby. Or you can go to your room, put your luggage, check in, and then bring your donations downstairs with you, either for the orphanage or for the day of the mission. We'll have a welcome dinner, and in this dinner, we're gonna be with the team in Kenya. There's a team waiting for us there. Our volunteers will be there. We're gonna have the staff members from the orphanage, which we're gonna be helping. They'll be there as well. So we get to meet the people we are working with the next day. And we get to meet the local community in Chuka. This place is very dear to me. This is where I grew up. So I know quite a number of people there. This is like my hometown. So I know most of people there, and they'll be very glad to receive you as our guests, not just as tourists, but as our personal guests. That's how we take you for even coming to help out our village. Then we're gonna have a mission day briefing after dinner, or as we have dinner, we're gonna have a briefing for the day of the mission, and we know who's doing what, who's gonna do what. Like you'll see shortly, I have this list here that we're gonna soon say, we need help with this, we need help with this, we're gonna choose volunteers. That way, even as we get ready for a mission, we know we'll be responsible for what. So after the briefing, Some of us will end to sleep. Some of us will be very busy sorting the materials. I will already have some people on this day. We are working to have some people already, the team in Kenya, will be setting up for the next day because we don't want to get there, start setting up. I'll personally
Yeah.
be there like way earlier than everybody. I'm thinking maybe around 1 week before. So I'm gonna be working on making sure that we have our equipment set. When we bring our donations, we're gonna have some people help us with sorting and all that. So after dinner, feel free to hang out at the hotel. You can go get a massage, you can go to sleep, you can go take a swim, but get some rest because we're gonna have a very busy day the next day. So the next day, one second, I think I skipped something. So on the mission day, which is the next day is the mission day. We're gonna wake up in the morning, have group breakfast, and drive. It's like a 7 minutes drive to the orphanage. When we get to the orphanage, we're gonna go meet the kids, see where they sleep, where they spend their life, and then it's like a 2 minutes drive to where we're gonna do the mission, where they have classrooms. So we're gonna be using classrooms as our op. So on the day of the mission, I'm gonna talk about that in a all different session as we choose the volunteer. So after the mission, the next day, which is the 4th, we are driving from Chuka to Samburu. So Samburu is the northern part of Kenya. It's hot. It gets hot there. When I say hot, maybe around 85, it gets very hot. We are typically going around the mountain. So Chuka, where we are doing the mission, cool. I think it's the leeward or windward side of the mountain. When we make that round, we are going towards northern Kenya. It gets a little warm. So, and we're gonna arrive at Buffalo Springs. So the next day we are not waking up too early. So we're gonna sleep in, have late breakfast because I know people will be exhausted. And then we are heading to Buffalo Springs National Park. This is a really beautiful park. It has all these amazing animals that are not found anywhere else. So the lions, they are different. The ostrich are different. You don't see them anywhere else in the whole of East Africa. It just has unique animals. That's why we chose this park. The zebra there are different. The lions, the male lions don't even have mane. They say it's so hot, they adapt them to be without a mane. But it's a very, very nice place. So when we get there, we just have late lunch. And we're gonna check in into our hotels, into our rooms. And the rooms are actually out there in the wild. So be careful, make sure you lock your door. Like the monkeys there will try to steal your stuff. So keep the windows locked all the time. People look at them, they say, oh, so cute. Then they leave the door open, you come and your clothes are outside in the wild, and they steal your toothpaste and everything. So that evening, we have our game drive, then come back, relax a little bit. Then we're gonna have group dinner, and we're gonna have a few activities. The next day, we wake up for our first morning game drive in this park. Best time to see animals because it's kind of dry, so all the animals are at the river trying to drink before they go and hide from the heat and all that. Where we'll be having our dinner, you can actually see like hyenas on the other side of the fence. They have put a little bit of a fence. You can see crocodiles coming like when people are having dinner. So, but the next morning, wake up for morning game drive. Those of us who are taking CE classes, we're gonna have 3 hours of CE this morning. So we have amazing, amazing speakers line up for this trip. So We have Alicia, she's gonna be teaching us about SDF and drill-free dentistry. I'm very excited about that stuff. So we're gonna get to learn on this morning. So for the CE, those taking the CE classes, you're gonna be signing up at the door. So 10 minutes after the class starts is when you earn the CE credit. After 10 minutes, if you come in after 10 minutes, it's okay to sit in and listen, but you'll not be getting a CE certificate. If you come in 10 minutes past the time the speaker has started. So, and we're gonna be sharing a form. We're gonna be sharing a form soon for those who want to sign up for classes, to have the name of the speaker, the class, and if you want to come and listen, you don't have to be in dentistry. Anybody can come and join, and you can earn CE credits for it as well. So the rest of the day, we are just relaxing. There's an infinity swimming pool in this park. Hey, if you want to do a game drive, guess what? In the mid-morning hours, it's so hot. Most animals are really high. There's not much going on, but we're gonna have our drivers on standby. If a group of you, 5, 4, 3, say, hey, we want to do a game drive, the Land Cruisers will be available to you. I doubt if there's a market nearby where you could go and buy some things. I really doubt that. So, but on our way here, we'll stop in a little town called Meru. For those who wants to buy sunscreen, I'm really hoping you're gonna bring those things. But if you really need to buy something, we're gonna make a little stop on our way here. And if you're not taking CE classes, you can either relax in your room, you can go to the spa, you can hang out at the bar if you want, you can go to the swimming pool, you can do a game drive. So the Land Cruisers are at your use. Wherever you want to go, make sure you talk to your driver, say, could you take us this place? We want to do another game drive, all that. In the evening, you have a game drive. Then after the game drive, this is the most interesting. So the reason we set them in the morning and evening. That's when you really get to see the animals. The other days you might just be driving out there and prepare to, it gets dusty. So there's no tarmac on the national park. So it gets dusty. So please bring a mask if you have to, bring sunglasses, bring something to cover yourself. It gets a little dusty because there's no tarmac inside the national park. So the next so we spend the evening. The next morning, we have a long drive. It says 8 hours because we factored in. So we are ending to Nakuru. So the reason it says 8 hours, we factored in some stops along the way. We're gonna have a stop for lunch. We're gonna have a stop at the Equator where they do very interesting experiments. We're gonna have a stop at the Thompson Waterfalls, get traditional dancers there dancing. These are some of the places if you want, if you have like the Kenyan currency. Let's say you change your money to Kenyan shillings. Maybe you have 100 Kenyan shillings, which is like equivalent of $1 or $2. If the people performing there, if you feel obligated to give them $1 or $2, you're gonna find like little kids doing experiments at the Equator. So if you feel obligated to give them something, these are some of the places where, let's say you have 100 Kenya shillings or even 50 Kenya shillings, which is like 50 cents US dollars, you can give to them. So lunch, we're gonna stop for lunch at a place called Nyahururu. It's gonna be buffet style lunch in a nice resort, but you're not spending the night there. Then we're gonna continue our journey up to Nakuru. So let me check something. I think I skipped something here. So overnight accommodation, we're gonna be at Lake Nakuru Lodge. So Lake Nakuru Lodge, the most interesting thing about it is it's inside the park. So we don't have to drive out to see the animals. So we are inside the actual park and the lodge is inside the park. So some of these places I cannot emphasize enough. Please, please, please do not leave your room at night without a guide. And they'll tell you that as well. There are animals roaming around. It's not a zoo. The animals are really literally outside your room. Lions will be there. There'll be other deadly animals as well. So if they have protocol, and they're gonna give us their briefing. If it's midnight or it's 10 o'clock, it's 10 p.m., you say, hey, I'm gonna walk to the bar at the lodge. Don't leave your room. They call somebody, they'll tell us how to do it, to walk with you. We're gonna do game drives inside Lake Nakuru Lodge. There's all kind of animals there: lions, buffaloes, rhinos, and flamingos as well by the lake. So we're not spending a lot of days here. The next morning we're gonna wake up, we have breakfast together. After, of course, we're gonna have dinner the night before. Then the next morning we do game drives, and we're gonna leave for Masai Mara. This is the premier national park in Africa. So if somebody says they've been to Africa and they have not been to Masai Mara, I feel like they're missing something out. This is the place where you are guaranteed to see the big five. It's so expansive that it goes from Kenya all the way to Tanzania. I cannot emphasize how amazing this place is until you see it yourself. So anyways, and so the drive from Nakuru to Masai Mara is like 4 hours. It's a very scenic drive because we're driving along the Rift Valley. So you can see all the the Great Rift Valley all the way from Jordan across Africa. So it's a very, very scenic drive. We're gonna have stops along the way for refreshments, those who want to buy refreshment. If you want to buy souvenirs, we're gonna have stops along the way. So when we get there, even before we check in into our hotels, we're gonna start with a Maasai village. So the Maasai is a tribe in Africa that is very well known with their red clothes that wear the shuka. We call it the shuka. So we're gonna have some welcome dances by the Maasai tribe. Get to interact with them, see where they spend their time, their homes, learn about their culture, their history. Do not be shy to join the dance. If they are dancing and they invite you to dance, jump right in, get into the dance. They have market there. They sell things, souvenirs as well. In Kenya, please, always bargain. If somebody say, okay, this is, for example, this thing, if somebody say, this is $10, whatever they tell you, say a tenth of that. Say, can I get it for $1? And of course, we're gonna have other people with you, so don't get ripped off. So some of these things really, as much as you also want to help the local community there, we don't want you to go buying some junk souvenir for hundreds of dollars. So make sure you bargain. If somebody say this $5, can you take $1? And depending on what you feel too. So everything you get is not that price. They are waiting for you to bargain. So we're gonna have our guides with you, of course. I'll be there. We're gonna have other team members with us because we also don't want you to get ripped off. Good news, Kenyans are very respectful. I was in Egypt a month ago, 2 months and few weeks ago. They can be super pushy. But in Kenya, if you tell somebody no, it's a no. They know, okay, they just say asante. Just say no, thank you.
Luxembourg have 5 wins despite not taking since 19.
I don't know whose phone is that or Zoom. So if somebody tells you, oh, this little necklace that you really like is 500 shillings, which is like $5 conversion, right? Bargain. And we're gonna be there as well to help you. So that evening, after the Maasai village,
Wow.
we're gonna go straight on a game drive. So where we are spending the night is deep inside the national park. So as we are going to our accommodation, Mara Simba Lodge, we are traveling through the national park, of course, seeing all the animals, stopping for pictures. Bring a binoculars with you if you can. Sometimes they do not allow the Land Cruisers to leave the main road, like chasing the animals. Let's say you see a leopard, because they are very elusive, and it just disappears into the grass or into the bush. The drivers are not allowed to leave the main road there are specific areas they can do that, but they're not allowed to leave the main road and chase the animals. So it helps that our Land Cruisers pop on the top, and you can stop on the seats and see all the way outside. Hey, if you bring binoculars, sometimes it helps. What I've seen some people do sometime, you have binoculars right here, and then you have the phone camera behind the binoculars, and you take super clear pictures. So if you want to get binoculars, this is once in a lifetime trip. Bring a binoculars with you if you want. You can find them on Amazon, on eBay, or something like that. So after the game drive, we are heading towards Mara Simba Lodge. So that evening, we have dinner and get some rest. We're gonna, if you like to go to the spa, you can go to the spa. If at this time you have laundry that needs to be done, this is the place to do it. You can give them to do your laundry. Last time I was there, I think when I did a bunch of clothes, it was like, I think it was $7, if I'm not wrong. They'll launder it for you, fold, bring it back to your room. The next morning, we get up pretty early. Those doing the balloon ride, you are in for a treat. It's to me, it's one of the most amazing things you can do in Masai Mara. So the early morning balloon safari, you get to see the animals. So we get up quite early, and last time we were so lucky to see lions hunting and bringing down like a big buffalo. You can see it from the sky. You're able to see the sunrise, to capture that sunrise. The African sunrise, very beautiful, very spectacular from the park. It's just something really you cannot forget. If you're not doing the balloon safari, so after the balloon safari, I think it lasts like 1 hour or 45 minutes. We have people on board taking pictures, and you can keep a whole video of the experience. And we have Land Cruisers on the ground following us where we land, because nobody knows where it's gonna land. It can even land in Tanzania, which is across not too far from where we're gonna be. So once we land, we have people there, to receive us. They're gonna give us instructions on how we are landing, and we have champagne breakfast. So they have mimosas, they have fresh, like they cook it on the spot. So fresh breakfast, lots of varieties. Of course, you get your balloon flight certificate and all that. It's an amazing experience. If you're not going for the balloon safari, and you actually have up to 5 days before the trip. So up to 25th, you can pay for the balloon safari up to 25th. There are still options. So in the morning, those not doing the balloon safari, you're not missing out. You can still do the game drive. I know some people do not like heights and they just want to skip that portion. That's good as well. So you're gonna have a morning game drive. You're just not going as early as we are going. So you get to see the animals. I remember last time some people did not go for the balloon safari, but they were very lucky. So they did the morning drive and they got to witness a leopard making a kill. So they were very lucky. Then after that, those doing the balloon safari and the game drive, we are all driving back to the park. We are spending the day at leisure, you know, just relaxing at the park. Hey, you want to do another game drive? Tell your driver, he'll take you back to the drive. In this park, there's nowhere to go and do shopping. I can promise you that. It's expansive. It's so huge. You can't say, hey, rush me to the nearby marketplace. I want to buy some toothpaste. I want to buy lotion. That there will be no that option. So you spend the day at the park, either at the pool. You can, you know, networking with the people. We are network. You are meeting lots of new people. You're gonna make new friends, lifelong friends. So we are also getting to meet and interact with other people, making friendship. There's so much to do. In the evening, we're gonna have a game drive on this day. Then we're gonna come back and then have dinner. And during dinner, we're gonna have animal themed evening cocktail party and photo shoot. So it's a little fun thing for us to do. So bring a cloth, or you can buy something on Amazon, whatever you can buy it, themed like your favorite animal. You don't have to be a full lion. You can even buy a lion mask. You can buy something that symbolizes your favorite animal. So it will be a nice little photo shoot, have a cocktail party. We're just gonna have a nice time together. So come prepared to have fun. I don't know what your favorite animal is. Mine, I'm so conflicted. I have 3 of them, so I'll figure out. I might change my clothes 3 times. Then so this day we're gonna have I'm thinking we might have a CE class on this day. I'm still talking to the hotel to see if the conference facility is available. We might be able to do CE class on this day as well during the afternoon. So the next day we are leaving Masai Mara to Naivasha. It's like 4 hours drive. Naivasha is a little town in the Rift Valley of Kenya. The reason we are moving around a lot is because we are trying to show you all the parts of Kenya. You'll see how different these parts are. You go from one part to another, you feel like you're now different. It feels like now different country or a different continent. So we choose these areas specifically to make sure you're not there stuck for 10 days, seeing same thing over and over again. So once we arrived in Naivasha, all right, this is Lizzie, my wife. She's gonna be with us.
Hello, sorry I'm joining you late.
Hello.
Yeah, hey.
She was just taking care of the boys, just put them to bed. We were gone for so long, we just came back today. So she was just taking care of them. So in Lake Naivasha, when we arrive in Lake Naivasha, we're gonna do a boat ride to an island that is known as a bird sanctuary. They got so many birds in this island. So we arrive there, check in the hotel, you know, do a little bit of a game drive, and then we are doing a little bit of boat ride. So this boat ride is that it's optional. It's not for everybody. If you want to do it, it's gonna cost $30 a person, 30 per person. Those who want to do it. In the evening, after dinner, we have fireside chat. You just sit by the fire, listening to the sounds of nature. You know, just a nice, relaxed evening. After all, we're gonna have quite a drive that day. So just to relax, we are sitting by the fire, interacting with our peers, and just taking it all in. The next day, so the next day, we're gonna be at Hell's Gate. We're gonna explore Hell's Gate National Park. It's in Naivasha. It's a national park which is known to be the only national park that is wild in Africa that you can do a walking safari. Why? There are no dangerous predators in this park. Are there dangerous animals? Yes, some dangerous than even predators. We have buffaloes there. But we do it with professional guides. We have game wardens with us, and they are armed at all times. But the animals there are known to be quite friendly because there's no predators. So this is a place where they shot the movie Tomb Raider. I think they shot it there. The other famous movie, The Lion King, was shot there. So it's a very famous park. If you cannot ride a bicycle, you can walk. If you can't walk, you can run. If you can't run, you can ride in the jeeps. So we're gonna have the Land Cruisers following us slowly behind us. If you get somewhere and you're tired, you say, I can't cycle anymore, I can't walk anymore, you just leave your bicycle, jump into the Land Cruiser. So we're gonna have Land Cruisers at the front, at the back, in the middle. And I do encourage you to cycle. It's so much fun. So we're gonna have a group shot. So in the afternoon, we're gonna have a white shirt and blue jeans group photo shoot. We're gonna take some group photo shoot. So blue jeans and white shirt is a group photo shoot, and everybody gonna get these pictures just to keep for memory's sake. And then we're gonna spend the day at leisure, and this day as well, we'll be doing a CE class on this day. Notice if we cannot squeeze them in at Samburu. So if we cannot squeeze them in at Samburu or Masai Mara, we will be having CE class on this day. But the CE, like I said, we'll be finalizing them before Wednesday to let you exactly know where and what we'll be doing on that particular day. We just want to get done with the classes as soon as possible. Because from my experience, when we do them towards the end of the trip, people tend not to attend. And we pay for these classes per seat. So we have like 40 people saying, oh, I'll be in that class. And then when time comes for class, everybody is in the pool. Some people are doing game drives. There's nobody in the class. And we end up paying all that money. So we're trying really to, that's why we are considering putting them in the very first days, especially in Samburu, and clear them all. So we are trying to put as many days of leisure as possible. So Lake Naivasha, Simba Lodge is where we are staying. Some people are going back a little bit earlier, and those are private logistics. We're gonna make arrangements for them to leave on this day. It could be after the Hell's Gate bike ride. It could be immediately after breakfast. We do not want to risk, or afternoon. But it's a couple of people. I think it's like 3-4 people. So it's no big deal. We will take care of them as well. So this evening, Lake Naivasha Lake Naivasha Simba Lodge, we are just having a nice relaxed evening. And the next morning we wake up, breakfast, and then we're gonna drive to Nairobi. This day, when we say spend the day at leisure, if you wanna go to a nearby town to do a little bit of shopping at Naivasha, you can go do some shopping. So we're gonna have the Land Cruisers at your disposal. But please make sure you do not leave without letting one of our team members know that you're going. Do not leave by yourself. Make sure you're going with somebody. We're gonna have people on the team with us that I like to go with you. You can leave with the drivers and the guides. We completely trust them. But I'm gonna have somebody else extra come with you. If you have to go, please get a hold of me by all means, or Lizzie here. Let us know, hey, I'm gonna go to a nearby town, I'm going to a supermarket to do some shopping, stuff like that. So the next morning is a drive to Nairobi. It's a short drive, like 2 hours, I believe, 2 to 3 hours. And we're gonna have a group lunch at a famous restaurant in Nairobi. It's called the Carnivore. So this, if you like steak, beef, if you like to try, if you are experimental enough, you can try some ostrich meat. You can try some alligator meat. You can try some zebra steak, all that. But they do have vegetarian options. They also, it's like, what's the name of that Brazilian steakhouse? It's like Fogo de Chão. So they walk around with meat steaming hot. You have a flag on your table. If you are really full, you can drop the flag, say no more ostrich meat. I'm done. And so after lunch, we are trying to keep this day very relaxed. Is that transfer to the airport? I'm very glad we are doing construction in this place and it was chaotic. People would miss their flights because traffic would be hours and hours. That's complete now. So it's a nice, easy ride from the lunch place in Carnival to the airport. So I would say keep checking your flight to make sure there are no changes on this day you are departing to the airport. So there are some people who are going to be going to the Kenyan coast to shake off the safari dust. So when we get to the airport, these people are going to be flying to the Kenyan coast. It's like 1 hour flight. And the excursion will start from there. So at the Neptune Beach Resort, it's a beautiful, beautiful resort at the Kenyan coast. So enjoy the day at leisure. When you get to the airport, we'll be there with you. We have arranged transport from it's a tiny, tiny airport, but it's a very safe place. We transfer you to the beach resort. It's all inclusive, food, drinks, everything is covered. So there's a lot to do. So there's pool, bar, restaurant, spa, gym, golf, anything you can think of, like actually disco, beach volleyball, surfing, tennis. There's a lot for those that are doing it. So, and though if you like to pay and change your flight, those who have not paid for the flight, you can, I think at this point you can still pay for the beach excursion if you can change your flight. Okay, so and that's the end of our safari pretty much. So travel essentials, please, please, please do not forget your passport. It can mess up your safari really badly. Don't forget your passport, phone charger, international adapter, check on Amazon. Bring a power bank with you as well. It helps. If you have power bank, it helps. Bring cash, dollars and Kenyan shillings. You can change at the airport as well. Get ones, fives in dollars as much as you can. Bring some sunscreen. It gets hot, especially in Samburu. It gets hot. Bring clothes. So people always ask, what should I bring for the clothes? So it's different. So like one day we are in Nairobi in the morning, it's 58 degrees, which is in Kenyan language, very cold. 58, 60, you'll see people with the coats and gloves and hats. And you'll be walking in a t-shirt, and everyone can say, oh, where are you from? They can really tell you are tourists. So, and for me, I mean, you can feel free to bring something warm if you like, but my experience, like taking American tourists, most Americans, when it's 58, 60, it's not big bother to them. But depending on where you are coming from Florida, that might be cold for you. So carry something warm, but be prepared for different changes in weather. We drive for 2 hours and the weather feels like we just moved from North Pole to Sahara Desert. So it keeps changing like that. Bring hats and flip-flops. A mosquito repellent, not necessary, but just bring it. So the hotels we are staying in, they spray for mosquitoes. There's no mosquitoes at all, but just bring some. But I've never seen mosquitoes in these places. Yeah, maybe when we're outdoors, we're in the national park, we are the fire chat place, make sure you bring a mosquito repellent. Bring some swimwear if you plan to swim. Bring medication, motion sickness, painkillers. Some people so the loans can get a little bumpy. It's not all smooth ride, and some people from all the movement. If you're gonna get on the boat in Lake Naivasha, so bring some motion sickness, some painkillers, all that, and we'll have some with us as well.
And also sometimes some people need stomach upset medications, so just the necessary medications they need.
So anything you need for medication, even like stomach upset and all that. But the foods at the restaurants where we eat, super clean. They're used to catering for international guests. You don't expect people are getting stomach sickness, but just bring medication that you can use in case of that. Things to remember, have a flexible mindset. So living out here in America, in the United States, things work a certain way here. Sometimes in Africa, things don't work like that. So have a flexible mindset. We try our best to give you the best experience. We try to make it most convenient for you. But sometimes, like, let's say, I'll just give a short example, right? Some people go to the, I had that last trip, we're in the middle of the national park, and somebody start asking for pizza. So somebody says, oh, all I can eat is a pizza. I cannot eat this food. So, and we had very hard time. So when I say flexible mindset, yeah, you can get on your phone and order pizza. You cannot do that in Kenya. You cannot. So have a flexible mindset, be open-minded to try new food, different culture, all that. Double check your flight. Make sure you're on top of your flight, please. So the flight is a long flight. So prepare to, download your movie on Netflix to watch, bring a book with you. You like to sleep on the flight, but make sure your flight is on point. Please be on time. True story. Last trip, one Land Cruiser. I have no clue how these people came to be on one Land Cruiser, but they were so late in everything. Let's say we're gonna have I think 10 or no, like 8 Land Cruisers, for example. We like to go in a procession. I do not want to be 10 miles ahead. I have guests 10 miles behind me, not knowing where they are. I like to be able to know each Land Cruiser number 1, number 2, up to number 8. I want us to be able to turn and literally see them. We'll make a little stop for souvenir shopping. These people, not kidding, would spend almost 1 hour shopping. Everybody's in the Land Cruiser. We start going, we'd have to wait for them. Please, let's not do that. Let's be considerate of others. Our guides will let us know. If they say we are stopping for 15 minutes, 20 minutes, if it's a bathroom break, please do not start buying souvenirs. If it's time for souvenir shopping, there'll be that time. So let's not stop for bathroom break, and then you see something you really like, and you spend 20, 30 minutes, bargaining for the price when everybody's waiting for you. Our guides will give us time frames for each area we visit. Have fun. This is a once in a lifetime event. Make great memories. So we are hoping, really, it's a trip you're going to be talking about the rest of your life, and that's what we intend to make it, to really make sure that everybody has a great time, have fun. Don't let the little things spoil the day for you, So I've seen some people come and say, I'm having a problem. We are all adults, of course, highly educated professionals. Let us use a lot of emotional intelligence. We are most of us work in dentistry. You've seen those co-workers or even patients that really try to get to you. I'm hoping nobody in this group is there to get into other people's nerves. Please, let's be flexible. We're gonna be in different Land Cruisers. If there's somebody you really prefer to be with, I'm gonna try my best to make sure that you are in the same. For example, I don't want to get a couple and put them in different Land Cruisers. I want you, of course, to be together. If you prefer to be in Land Cruiser with certain people, please let me know as well. And we'll do these arrangements in Nairobi when you're there, but have fun. Do not let somebody or anything really spoil this trip for you. It's a costly investment in terms of money, in terms of time. So, and our job is to really ensure you have a trip you're never gonna forget. And also the people we're gonna meet, they're never gonna forget that you are there to help them, with their oral health problems. Even the guides that we're gonna be having them for 10 days. They become like family. You get to know them really well, talk to them, ask them about their childhood growing up in Kenya. They are all sometimes from all different tribes. They don't even speak the same language. The only way they can speak is Swahili. So get to talk to them. They are super, super knowledgeable. So they've been doing that for so long. If you have a question, just speak slowly. They may not, sometimes they may miss American accent, although they have been dealing with a lot of Americans. So just speak slowly and to the point. So let me see. If anybody is trying to get hold of me, that's my number right there. That's Lizzie's number. I'm gonna share on WhatsApp as we get closer to the trip. Actually, when I leave the States, this number is not working anymore in the next 10 days. So of course, WhatsApp is there. I'll share other numbers that you can get hold of our staff members there in Kenya. Shoot me an email, send it to Lizzie as well. So we have other trips coming up for those who would be interested to join us in future trips or share them with your friends, with your family. We have a trip to Egypt in January. So when we go to Egypt, we normally support the Children's Cancer Hospital there. So they couldn't let us do any dental work, but we do donate to them dental materials, money, clothes, toys, and also spend the day there encouraging the kids. We do River Nile cruise. We have another dental mission to Ghana in March 2024. So we are doing actual dental mission in a village in Ghana. It's a very remote village. They have never ever had a dental mission there or even a dental clinic. So we have something to South Africa, August 2024. And we have another trip to Egypt, Israel, and Jordan, November 2024. So, and if you can't even make it on any of these trips, if you join us, you get $250 off for coming on this trip. Or if you refer someone and they sign up for any of these trips, they'll get $200 off, and you'll get $200 cash sent to you. So let me go back to the day of the mission, please, because that day is super, super important to us. It's going to be our most busy day. I'm done here soon, so I know it took a little bit long. So on the day of the mission, we are going to be doing extractions. So most people that are coming, especially adults, they'll tell you they need an extraction. But we know, because that's the way it's done in Kenya. Most people have no teeth because they go with a little cavity. Oh, my tooth is paining me, please take it out. Some of these people, we have to be careful. So we don't need to pull a tooth. It really it's just a failing for them. We are doing SDF. Elise is gonna guide us on that. We're gonna be utilizing a lot of SDF techniques because most of these people are so scared. They say, I would rather get a tooth extracted rather than get a drill on my tooth. But some want fillings done. Can we do everything? No. Can we do something? Yes. So our number one mission is to eliminate pain. You'll see some people coming with abscess, swollen face, because they really have been suffering. They have tooth that need to be extracted. Kids, most of the kids at the orphanage, unfortunately, you'll see kids with severe caries sometimes. So we're gonna be doing a lot of education. We're gonna have translators with us as we do this education. Most people there speak English, really. From day one of school, they learn English is the official language in Kenya, while Swahili is the national language. But the official language of instruction in schools, in offices, is English. But we're gonna have translators with us. So we're gonna be doing Profis. Some people come in, you see they need SRP. While we might not be, we're gonna have some units with cavitrons and all that. While we might not be able to do really SRP on everybody, some of them they need SRP. We're gonna do our best, and we are actually in the process of building a permanent structure where these people can come continually for care. We're gonna have a Safari and Smiles clinic where, let's say, you say, I want to go back in the next 6 months, in the next 1 year, I'd volunteer 3 days doing work at the clinic, and then go to Mombasa at the beach for 3 days, then come back. And you have people that are always saying, I don't want to do a group safari. I want to go there by myself. How can I help? How can I help? So we're gonna have a place for those kind of people that really want to go there and give back. So for now, we're gonna collaborate with a local clinic that's gonna be able to continue care for these people. There's so much to do. Anyway, so we're gonna be doing a lot of fluoride on the kids and the adults. For the adults, I need first we're gonna need some volunteers. Let me post the screen share. We're gonna need some volunteers to help us handle some things. So, for example, we need people to help us to sort the supplies. We have a lot of supplies. Some of them are for restoration, some of them are preventive, some are for hygiene. So I know Dr. Azad said she can help with that. So we need probably 2 more people that can help sort the supplies. When I say sort the supplies, it means the night we arrive on fast, when we're in Chuka, the very first night, when the mission is the next day, and everybody is now sorting, like, this is what I brought for donation, for the mission. If you have something for the orphanage, you keep it with you, you give it the morning of the mission at the orphanage where they stay. So we're gonna have some supplies that I'm taking with me. I have a ton of supplies that I need to start actually packing as well and sorting. So we're gonna have some people that are gonna be very helpful that evening to sort the supplies for restoration, for hygiene, for all that. So I would really appreciate if somebody feels like they can help with that
Hey,
Hmm.
part.
Morris. This is Erendira. I'll be more than glad to help. Erendira Guzman.
Okay, put that down, put it down there. Thank you so much.
Yeah, sure. And anything else I can help with, no problem.
Okay, perfect.
I can help.
I can help.
Okay, sounds great.
Abby.
Thank you, Carol. Okay. So Carol is. Okay, so the next thing we need somebody to be, and also I'm gonna give you like somebody from the local team. So to also join you. We have other medical and dental professionals there. I'm gonna have somebody also to help with the sorting. So when we sort these things, this team, we might have to get up a little earlier than everybody the next morning to go and check the site for the mission. Make sure, or we're gonna have some people also transport it there for us. Screenings. This is super important. Why? Some people have underlying conditions that they are not aware of. Some people have high blood pressure. Some people have diabetes. They're not even aware. We don't want to start doing local anesthesia on somebody with high blood pressure that is through the roof and controlled diabetes. So we're going to be doing a lot of screenings on the patients. All adults will have to get a blood pressure check. We're in the process of making sure every adult get blood sugar screening. Some will say if they have it, some will not. But since we are trying to combine a little bit of medical, is anybody a nurse in the group or a registered nurse? We also have she has a pharmacist, she could also help with that. And we have other people too there in Kenya that are gonna join us.
I can help with that, Morris, but I don't know if you would rather have me doing extractions.
Extractions will be much better, I think. So, but we're gonna have volunteers for this. So screenings, when I say screenings, also, I need somebody who will be really, really fast when the patient comes in, because first in the morning, we have them in a big group sitting somewhere. That's why we're gonna do introduction, group education, and then we're gonna allocate them numbers. Our first priority will be the kids at the orphanage. Those are really vulnerable people because most of them are orphans, some of them really, really sick also. And so we're gonna give them first priority, obviously, because we are going there for them. Second priority will be people in pain, adults in pain. And then that priority will be going to the parents of these kids. Some of the kids have adopted parents. So when the orphanage became full, some people in the community opted to take these kids and take care of them. So they really stay with these kids. So we're gonna, and some of them also do not have much. They are really struggling to even have these kids. So we're gonna give them priority. And then the coffee farm where we are going, most of the people working in that coffee farm, that's why I was saying if you have a donation like to give to them, that would be really good as well. Really poor people in the because the coffee farm is deep in the village. We're gonna give them a chance, just the staff members at the coffee farm. I think it's like 10 or 15 of them. And last time I was there, most of them really wanted to come to the mission, and I could see the end a lot of dental issues. So we're gonna give them an option as well to join us. So when we are doing screenings, we're gonna start with the kids. Then we need a team of people who are really, really quick to diagnose really quick. And Dr. Mbaka, his name is Fidelis. He's gonna be the chief of our mission. He's a oral surgeon in Kenya. So, and he's the one that always guides us. He's also gonna give us a briefing. So we're gonna need somebody to be there. Somebody comes, they open their mouth. You say, okay, you go to that side. Now we know that person is coming for extraction. You go to that side. This person we know is coming for, just fluoride and go. Because some really come, they just want a checkup. You look, there's really nothing. I'm hoping by the next mission, we're gonna incorporate a nomad that we can take some x-rays. That would be really great. And I'm hoping we're gonna get there. But for now, we are just working with what we have. So somebody comes, like some of these kids, somebody has a chip on a front tooth, maybe they need a filling or SDF, whatever we can do. We know this person needs extraction, they need a cleaning, they have tartar buildup, they need a quick cleaning. So we need somebody who is gonna be in charge of all the screenings. You have to be somebody who is really flexible, because when you do the screenings, you're gonna work with the local. I'm gonna pair you with somebody from the local team who really, that you can translate between Swahili, because some patients will come. Some of these patients, just to let you know, they have never seen somebody white, and they'll be really, especially the kids. You'll see like they'll be like, huh? Excited. Is this real? Is this a real person? And I'm telling you, so they're not being rude or anything. So sometimes when we have a local person participating and guiding you, like helping us with the interpretation, and someone will come and say, this tooth, this. Unfortunately, sometimes you have to make that call that we are gonna deal with this one and this one, the other one has to wait. If they hang around by the end of the day and they can still get the others done, for example, somebody with an abscess and they need 7 other fillings, we might not be able to do all that. We might just be able to do extraction and fillings where we can. So who is gonna volunteer for screenings?
I could do that.
Okay. So, Dhanendra.
You just need
You
one.
need a dentist to do that, right? You want a dentist?
Dentist, because I really like dentists to be really in the middle of the action if they can. And in Kenya, there are these people called community oral health officers. They are like physician assistant equivalent. They do root canals, they do fillings, so they're not dentists, but they are pretty damn close there. So I'm gonna
I
ask
can
them
help with that then.
uh,
I'll help with that screening.
okay, so I think this might be a little hard for you because if you are doing SDF,
Oh, yeah, okay.
Actually, I would love to help with that. Pam?
yeah, so Pam will help as well. Because I'm thinking also, this also we might have the local teams really help us. Because I know some people used to the standard of care here, you might be so conflicted. You see these cases, you want them to do everything. You think this, they do. So we might have like incorporate. So Bobby and Pam will be there, and you're gonna be with another guy called Joseph. I'm gonna introduce you to who you're working with when we get there. So I'm gonna pair you with local teams. So Joseph, so like blood pressure, all that. I need somebody in charge of extractions. So I know Paul would you like to help with that. That's indeed drop off.
Yeah, I'm good with that, Morris. I'll do them all.
Okay, so Paul will be in charge of extractions. So you can have a team in Kenya as well that can do extractions. So you'll be leading them. You'll be working with them to work on extractions. We need somebody else for extractions. Hilda, do you want to work in extractions? Yeah, you're on mute. Who else?
I
I
Danielle.
can do that too. Oh,
Okay.
Danielle, me and you.
So Danielle and
Hilda.
Hilda and Danielle.
Right.
So for clarification, there is no x-rays. We're just pulling.
Yes, there's no actually some people have really bad period, so you just like you're gonna use your own judgment and you can also ask your colleagues if you have any doubt. So no x-rays this time, yeah. And
And
some of
then
them will show you most like the kids, honestly, I feel like some of the kids, if they have like baby teeth that are really wiggly and they're really scared sometime to get them pulled. They trust somebody with medical background to do it. Some adults will come in, they have class 3 mobility, but they don't know how to do it. So when we say extraction, we don't mean like complex surgical extractions. I'm really
okay,
thinking
I was about to
simple
say, like,
extractions. Yeah.
piece. What do I need to bring? So it's probably going to be more simple. Should I just bring like some of my forceps from my office?
That would be great. If you can bring some forceps, some elevators, all that stuff, you know your tools.
Okay,
So
but
that'd be
no,
really good.
shouldn't be going too much surgical.
Not too much surgical. So we've sent it. I promise you the people there, the teeth are quite hard. So last time the dentist that went, a teeth would come with class 2 mobility, but they still said that was a tough extraction. So
Oh, our bone is hard.
bring a muscle. So we're gonna be doing some composite restorations. So who's gonna be in charge of that? Just like regular fillings, we're gonna be doing some of that. And I know not everybody is here tonight, so we're probably gonna keep filling that list. Anybody wanna do fillings? So you're gonna be paired. I know there's a team coming, team of 5 from Pennsylvania, same office, and we're just interested in doing this. So I'm just gonna talk to them to confirm. And if you decide to do so, like for Paul, Daniel, and Hilda, we're gonna pair you with a local assistant from Kenya. So you have somebody working with you. So
Hey,
SDF,
Morris, I
Yeah.
am a dental assistant, so I don't know if you want to assign me to anything in specific. I'm comfortable with extractions, restorative, anything you want me to do. Just so you know.
yes. Sorry, I don't know who is speaking.
Arendira.
Oh, so
Yeah, I'm a dental assistant and I'm also a CNA. So if you need anything with blood pressures, I'm a surgical tech originally. So anything that you need me that I can help you with.
So I'm thinking, Lolly, where's Lolly? She's gone? She dropped out.
No, I'm here.
Right, no, are you a
I'm
physical
here,
therapist?
I'm here.
Sorry, I don't know what I did there. So, Lolly, what I know, do you want to help with blood pressure and all that? Because I know you are a physical therapist or
No, I'm
occupational
an
therapist.
occupational therapist and I don't know what tools you're using to take their blood pressure with, because I don't take blood pressures.
What you do be most, we'll find something for you anyway. So we're gonna have people there doing all that. I'm sure you're gonna
I
find
believe
something
that.
for you.
I believe that you will find something. I've been listening.
So,
And yes,
so I think for Elendila, you'll be really good being a bridge between the. We have some assistants joining us from Kenya. I
Okay.
think you're gonna be a really good bridge between them and the dentist from here. So like
Okay.
like
That's no problem. And I mean,
yeah.
to start, I can also help with the blood pressures. I'm a CNA. I practice my blood pressures every day. So I can do that. I bring my own stuff with me. If you need anything, ask for extras. I have some too that I can spare.
Perfect. Just we're gonna keep that in mind. We have probably other people that can do it because we don't want to spread so thin that we have
Okay.
you all over.
Yeah, that's fine.
So local anesthesia. So I think I could help with that personally. Like I'm licensed in DC, Maryland, and Virginia. That way, if because I can also speak Swahili, most people there they are so afraid when they see the needle. So, and all those people, if they need extraction, I'll just be sending them to pour to whoever to pour in this group. Whoever are doing extractions, fillings, I can block all that. So I can take care of that, and anybody else too that want to do their own numbing. So I can help in that. So we need somebody to be in charge of post-op. So maybe the end extraction. So I think we need somebody that speaks local language for that, just to guide them, say, hey, do not go and smoke, do not go do this. So just put local team.
And we can integrate as well.
Yeah. So hygiene education. So for the hygiene education, we normally do it in the group in the morning, collectively, when we are all together. So does anybody have like those samples, the big mouth, the toothbrush, all that? All right, perfect. So Elise is gonna bring that, and we're gonna do a group education in the morning. I'll just do it with Elise. We're gonna do it together in the morning, so you can put me there as well.
Okay.
Now we need somebody in charge of profits. So hygienist. So this somebody will lead the hygiene team. Celeste, you wanna do that?
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay. So for the kids, you'll see mostly the little kids, not much to clean. So just maybe you can show them how to brush, put some fluoride, we keep the line moving. Sealants. So put sealants. And the hygienist wanna help with sealants. And I can also help a little bit with that. So you can put sealants, fluoride. So just put the hygiene team. So we're gonna create a hygiene team. I know there's a couple of hygienists coming that are not in the meeting. Yeah. So we need somebody to be in charge of sterilization. Very
Brandon can
key.
do that.
Nolan can do that.
All right, so put Nolan in charge of sterilization. He's gonna work with the local team to do sterilization. So we normally move the instruments in plastic plates. So we do not have all, sometimes because it's back and forth real quick after extractions, we do not have the actual dental trays. So we have the plastic plates or disposable plates as we call them. So we have, just your job is, because you do not have a lot of instruments, is to make sure there is a flow. Instruments are done, they are coming back to the sterilization room. they're getting sterilized, they're coming out. So we're gonna get an autoclave from a local office that we're gonna use. We are also planning, I learned this from Christian Dental Missionary Organization. That's what they call themselves. I just learned this just the other day. They use a pressure cooker, like the one that cooks rice,
Yeah.
to sterilize, and it's super effective. So they have used it all over the world in all their missions. So I might get a couple of those to make sure we have the instruments flowing. So sterilization is taken care of.
Do you only need one person for that?
No, we need a couple of people for that.
Brandon
And
can do that.
so put Brandon there.
Put
Okay.
Brandon, yeah, he'll do that.
And
He used to
then
do that at my office.
you can put
Ken
my daughter,
can help, Nolan.
Yes, so Moran, Brandon.
and then Lynn. That's my daughter. She's 16, so she's
Okay.
familiar.
Okay, Lynn as well. Nice. If you have a friend, a spouse, a child joining, please, if you feel our position, they can volunteer, let us know. We'll be happy to have all hands on deck. We need somebody to keep data, check out data. We want to know how many extractions have we done. So this data is just to help us improve on the next one. How many SDFs did we do? How many fluorides did we do? How many extractions? How many fillings? So we're gonna need somebody who is really good. They're gonna be at the checkout point. So these patients, what we do, you're gonna see them with notes, like note cards, like this. And it's gonna have the procedure there that has been done. Extraction, number 6, this, that. So we're gonna have a form that you just have to look at this paper and say, that was extraction. So just to keep data of, sometimes you can even just put the paper on side. Now I'm just worried, maybe they got an extraction and fluoride. So it'll be better if you have just a form saying how many people are doing extractions, how many people got fluoride, how many people got this. So when they check out at the goodie bag station, so I need somebody to help man the goodie bag station. If any, so Carol will help with that.
Well, I can also be there.
Hey, Morris.
So,
And
yeah,
Ken
That
can-
doesn't require any medical or dental training. I can probably do that.
all right, so put
I don't know what an
Brandon.
SDF is, but I can match it up on a form.
You'll run it.
And
Oh, thank
Ken
you.
can
When-
help with that also.
And by the time you attend Elise class in the next mission, you'll already be knowing what SDF is.
There you go.
But thank you. Yeah. So we're gonna have Carol, Brad, and Grant. So at the goodie bag, so I think the people really handling the goodie bags, we're gonna have some work to do because when we get there, we're gonna have to prepare them. But you have some time in the evening, or you can make them as we start in the morning. So you'll see some kids trying to play, little games going around, trying to come for the second goodie bag. No, they don't get it because we want everybody to get one. And we're also gonna, this goodie bag is located next to the pharmacy. So put pharmacy. So we have 3 pharmacists that's gonna help us. So Lizzie is gonna be there, and Dennis is my biological brother in Kenya. He's a pharmacist there. He has a local pharmacy there, so he knows the people really well. He knows the medication as well. And we're gonna have Abi as well. So at the pharmacy, they get antibiotics, they get painkillers, they get just general advice. Some of them even bring their own medication from home that they are taking. They do not know how to take them and all that. So freelance will be in charge of that. We need curing lights. So if anybody has curing lights, bring them. So what we're gonna be doing, when you bring your own instrument at the day of the mission, at the end, our job is to ensure that your instrument or your whatever you bring is sterilized and given back to you. That way, when you go back to the hotel for the evening, you have whatever you brought. Should you wish to donate it, we'll keep it for the next mission. But if you bring a tool that you really want to take back with you, we're gonna have somebody in charge of that. So we're gonna say before we leave here, what did you bring? So this is yours, this is yours. You can put a mark on it, but I do not want anybody to lose. There are forceps that they love, there are scalar that they really like. So we're gonna have Noran, Brandon, and Lane. Really keep an eye on, like, this is for this. These are the local instruments, and I'm also I have a local team there also that we are putting in charge of the instrument. So they really gonna know, like, this is what we rented from Kenya. This is from our guest, all that. Okay, so
What do you need, Morris?
Hey,
fueling lights.
Curing lights? You don't need a Cavitron or a triturator or anything like that.
So if you get a Cavitron, please bring it. If you can get a Cavitron, we'll be happy to get that. So some of these things, it's always good to know that somebody can bring them, or if something close your mind, let me know, because we don't want to spend so much money that you do not even have to rent some of these things. So if you get a Cavitron, that'll be great. If you get fueling light, that'll be great. I know we ordered a couple from Amazon, so I'm gonna check if somebody got that for the mission.
The only problem is the electrical outlet. Is there? Because it's US.
So we're gonna get converters to try to convert them. I know I asked a couple of people that have done missions before, and they said the number one works in Kenya. So we're gonna get a couple of converters to use on that day as well. That's some of the units that we are renting in Kenya are compatible directly with the electrical system over there. So for other donations, I'm talking, when I say other donations, you want to buy, like, for example, toys for the kids, 5 and below, they love those toys. So, like, kids will always be kid. You might go there and do extraction, they really don't care much about the extraction. To them, you're just causing them pain. But when you bring them little toys, flip-flops, clothes, yeah, sometimes even little toys from dollar store, that really, I mean, it makes their day. So you can get a soccer ball, clothes, shoes, anything. They are really appreciative. So not even just the kids. When we go to okay, so Ken and I will be bringing flip-flops and clothes. That would be amazing. So sometimes even at our own homes, we have things we do not even use. And if you can bring them, donate to the kids, to the people working there, to the villagers, they truly appreciate. So anything you have. So from my experience, what most people do, okay, so soccer ball, that's amazing. So sometimes even the guides that we have, you say you bring a nice t-shirt, a nice cap, they'll really take them,
What is the age group of the kids? Do you have like young kids, like toddlers, or do you just have?
From 2 up to 18. That's why I said some of the kids have been at the orphanage before, and they left, and they went to colleges, so they're gonna be coming on that day as well. So really from 2 to 18, but the ones living at the orphanage, where we're gonna go in the morning before the mission, most of these kids are 2 to 11. 2 years to 11 years.
Pens and pencils?
Yeah, absolutely. Crayons.
Crayons.
Yeah, crayons,
Balloons.
all that. And if anybody can bring stickers, those after the dental treatment, those stickers for great job, good job, we're gonna need those as well.
Hey, Morris, put me in anything like pediatric dental, whatever,
Okay, you're gonna be in charge for all the pediatrics, extractions, fillings, so we got
Whatever.
you on them.
Whatever. Get me a
You're gonna be
papoose
busy.
board, by the way.
You're gonna-
Get me a papoose board.
We're gonna keep you busy, I promise. So I want to open on the questions now and see a couple of questions. It's the meeting, did you pick? This is I don't know, sorry, who sent this? I don't know why my chat is so supersized. I can barely.
Morris, I have a question, and I'm sorry, I don't know, I think I've been missing some of my emails from the past, but did I see anything about malaria, what is it, a malaria prophy?
Prophylaxis.
Yeah,
So from my experience, some people do take them, some do not. And I'll let Celeste talk. She's been to Kenya several times. So she'll tell us what she normally does. Personally, I do not take them. I know I've got malaria before as a kid. Maybe from that I got the super genes that fights it. I don't know, but I never take any of that.
okay.
So Celeste, what do you normally do?
So I've always taken it. I usually did doxycycline, but I think this time I'm doing propanol. And I've never had any side effects with it. I've always just been a little bit more precautious of taking it, but the last 2 times that I've went, we've also been in very secure areas where, like Marie said, there's not a ton of mosquitoes. So I think at that point it is personal preference, but for me, I do always just take it and I've never had any issues with it. So that's kind of my thought behind it.
What, I'm sorry, can you say again, what is it that you did, what is it that you take? Is it a treatment? Is it pills? Is it a vaccine?
No, it's always a pill. So you can get it from like Minute Clinic, you can get it from any kind of local PCP provider. But the first time I took doxycycline, which is usually 1 pill every day, you do have to take that one for a full 28 days when you return home. And then this time I'm taking propanol, which is also it's not an antibiotic, but it's also a pill. And that one also is for, I believe, once a day and then the full 7 days afterwards.
Okay, thank you.
So anybody else with, like, if you have any underlying condition, and from my own experience as well, if we are going to Western Kenya, which we are not, this is close to Lake Victoria, the origin of River Nile. That area mosquito is very rampant. There might be mosquitoes in the areas we are going, but remember, not all kind of mosquitoes cause malaria, right? It's just the female Anopheles mosquito. So some people have had side effects from the medication, from what I understand. They have become like drowsy and all that. So use your own personal discretion. If you have to take, it's fine, because we normally say better safe than sorry, right? But if not, and somebody really gets sick from malaria, the group from last year, I think nobody even took it and nobody really got sick. So just use your own personal discretion, but it's not mandatory. Is it advised? It's advised depending on the location where you're going.
Okay.
Can I say something?
Yes.
So I know Nairobi, there's barely malaria in Nairobi because you can barely buy any malaria medication in Nairobi. So I know this because my auntie is a doctor in Nairobi and she's already told me like never to worry about it. But I'm not saying that don't take it. I think it's just people need to know that if you go somewhere and you get bitten by a mosquito and it may not have malaria, you'll be there worried like, oh, am I gonna get malaria? I think if I were new going to Kenya, I'll just take it for my own, being just careful and peace of mind when I'm traveling and having enjoying my time. But like Mori said, you're not going to Western Kenya. You're going to most parts that have mosquitoes, and those mosquitoes may not even have malaria. So
Thank
that's
you.
all. My 2 points.
Yeah, thank you, Hilda. Okay, so anything else that we didn't cover? I know this meeting went way over time, but I just wanted us to be very thorough. But this does not mean if you get a question, you do not ask. So please be ready for the trip. Little things, like you said before, can spoil the trip for you. Make sure you have, your papers in order. I know the visa issue has been a big issue for some people, problem with applying, and the website is just like that. That's the best they can have, the one they have right now. And I told them, I actually called somebody at the embassy and I said, this visa thing is like, you have to go to computer science school to do it. So I'm just hoping at this point, everybody have their visa downloaded. You do not want anybody to, in the next 10 days, I'm able to help you. You do not have a visa because after I leave, it's gonna be so hard.
Because I sent an email to the embassy and I didn't get a response back. I filled out my information and my daughter's information, and they only sent me back one visa. So I'm assuming that she didn't need one because she's
How old is she?
she's 16.
Yeah,
I think 18.
16, she don't need it. That's probably why. Did
So
you
I
pay
did
for it?
to verify it, but I didn't get a response back.
Okay, I'm gonna text somebody. I'll call them to just double check for
Okay.
you.
I
But I know they
submitted
do not need to put that
I
down.
submitted, like her passport information too. Like when they said add a minor, I added it to it, but they only sent me back one visa.
I don't think she needs it.
Okay. And then my other question was really how much luggage do we have to bring?
You know, people are different when they travel. I've seen somebody bring a backpack to Kenya. I've seen somebody bring a whole bedroom to Kenya. So seriously, I feel like you should travel light, honestly, because these the Land Cruisers we are using, they have enough space to hold bags for the 6 people. So it's gonna be 6 people per Land Cruiser. They have more than enough space, trust me. But also you don't want to overpack so much. So I would say what? So
Suitcase.
like a suitcase, one big suitcase or suitcase and a backpack or a carry-on, but do not worry about space. There's enough space. Those going to the coast, the local flight might not be able to take a lot of stuff with you in the local flight. So we might have to leave some of the things in Nairobi and get them at the airport when you come back from the coast. So, but please pack what you're comfortable with. So don't worry about laundry. There's laundry facilities almost in every place we are staying. So if it's clothes, do not be overworried. Shoes, bring some hiking shoes. Maybe for the day we are going to Naivasha, where we're gonna be cycling, walking, all that. But bring something comfortable to wear around the lodges. You don't want to be walking around the lodge in hot boots and it's hot. So flip-flop, something nice and easy. Bring some light clothes to wear in the first 1 week. I'll be like the first 3 days in Samburu. We're gonna be there for 2 or 3 days, I think. It's gonna get pretty hot. So maybe light t-shirt, shorts. Chuka, you might not be able to do that. So on the day of the mission, we're gonna wear our t-shirts, the one that we're gonna give everybody. So please ensure we have the correct size for you. That way there's no confusion with somebody missing the right size and they cannot participate in the same uniform as everybody. Now, if you have scrubs, yes, you can bring scrub pants and wear the t-shirt on top. At least I know that's what I'm probably might do myself. I might bring my, my scrub pants, loops. If
the t-shirts are army green.
So the t-shirts we have are army green. We're gonna have a t-shirt for everybody. So the reason we got army green is because they do not attract insects. If somebody decides to wear it on the safari as well, if we wear very bright clothing, they attract insects. So we try to keep them either dark or army green. So when we go to the parks, but on the day of the mission, we are gonna take a group picture in the morning before the mission, and during the mission, of course, we have video and camera people also taking pictures about the day. If you need private pictures of you doing your stuff, all that, you'll be able to share them with everybody as well. Bring your loops. So don't do what I did. So last time, it was after COVID, of course, and travel was crazy. I lost my loops. We lost 4 bags in one flight. Not when going, when coming back. I checked in my loops. Do not check in your loops, please. If you bring your loops, I've seen some people buy a second pair of loops from Amazon. Just easy. It's for one day. If you want, you can keep the information. You don't want to bring your $3,000, $4,000 loops for a day of immersion, and then at the airport they break or something, but you can treat them like your laptop. Carry them safely in your checked in your carry-on if you can. So, but if you make sure they are charged, of course, charge them really good. Keep them safe after the mission. We don't want also, don't forget, we get in the Land Cruisers and your carry-on bag with your backpack with your loops. It's being thrown around by bumps when you drive in the parks, and then you break your loops. So just be careful with that. Trying to think of anything else. I hope everybody please has flight insurance. Very, very important. So when I lost my bags, 4 of them, they were lost for a month. My loops were in there. I couldn't work for that long without my loops. I had to get a new pair of loops. So, and I charged the insurance. They were able to refund me the money for those loops. I checked them in, big mistake. So anyway, make sure you have flight insurance. Last trip, when somebody get a family emergency, we were in Naivasha. We were 3 days into the trip, right? And they got family emergency. They had to come back to the States immediately. So the flight insurance, they were able to, get their flight refunded for that emergency flight. Of course, the cost for the whole trip as well. So we hope nothing bad happens, but we still have to get insurance. Same way we get car insurance, even though we hope not to get into any vehicle accident. So personally, I use Thin Leg. I think it's great for insurance. If you are feeling sick in the mission, please let me know right away. There are several good hospitals in Nairobi. If you get sick, do not keep quiet. Make sure there's somebody who knows when you are sleeping. If those with single rooms occupancy, make sure you make at least somebody aware that, hey, I'll see you at breakfast in the morning. Sometimes people oversleep. It sounds unbelievable, but you've almost left somebody sleeping. And of course, the driver in your Land Cruiser gonna take a roster every morning to make sure that everybody is there. So, but make sure and interact with other people, make friendship, make connections.
Hey, Morris, I have one question. I'm sorry, I'm just full of questions here.
No,
So I arrive the 31st. Would you
Yes.
be adding that accommodation to my to that website where we do our purchases? I would feel more comfortable if you would do it for me, just because I don't want to reserve it myself and make a mistake or something. I just want to make sure things are done right. Would you mind?
That's exactly what we encourage. So anybody coming a little bit early or leaving later, we really like to be part of making the reservation for you and transport. I don't think I'll get any sleep if I know I have a guest out there taking a taxi or Uber in Nairobi, trying to find their way through. So we will send you the details. Anybody arriving early, we have captured that information. We'll send you an invoice for the early arrival. It's the same cost as you'd pay by yourself, but we just want to ensure you are safe. And you have people that we know picking you up from the airport as well. I'll personally be at the hotel when everybody arrives. I want to be there, and I'll just be monitoring as well. I'll be watching for your flights. I'll be making sure that everybody's safely on their way to the airport. Once you exit the airport, and Celeste, she's been to our trip before, she knows. So if I have to come there myself to pick you, that's what I'm gonna do. But I do not want anybody to get stranded at the airport.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, I did fill out all the paperwork with the details. I've been checking on that, on the itinerary where we pay, and I didn't see no difference yet. So I just thought I'd bring it about, just for you to know.
Oh,
Thank
thank you.
you.
No worries. We'll be sending that out soon as well. So and then you also don't send this so early. Some people, their flight keeps changing. So, but it's nothing to worry about. Even if you don't see an invoice and you are arriving, whatever date you are arriving, there'll be somebody to pick you. There'll be a hotel room for you as well.
Thank you.
Okay.
So Morris,
Yes.
so when people are coming early, because you're matching up people that don't have another person with them, such as myself, are you matching me up with another person for, you know, the 31st too? I mean, so that we can always split the rates? Is that possible?
Yes. So you have a roommate for, right? So I think that for your case, you might be by yourself the first few days. Yeah, so but you'll get somebody to stay with you.
Okay, yeah.
A one cheese, a white cheese. And oh no, can I change? Is there some of that cheddar left from the?
There's yellow cheese.
Yeah, that yellow cheese from that cheddar that we had.
Who's
Just a
having
slice of that.
cheddar? And cheese?
I don't have
Wow.
my visual on, my videos on. I'm just.
Cheddar and
Okay, so
cheese. Can we have
anybody
some
has any
too?
other question?
Hey Morris, I gotta hop off, and I think you should have everything of mine. If not, I'll just message you or whatever. I think it should be fine, right?
Yeah, I put that much, a lot of information. So in the next 2 weeks or next 10 days, expect to hear from me a lot. I'm gonna be double checking, clarifying, and Lizzie too, she'll be double checking, clarifying. If you have any question, you can get hold of me. I know Hilda, she's been really helpful. Celeste, she's been really helpful. Yeah, she's from Kenya. Celeste has been to Kenya before, so feel free to ask them questions as well. They'll be happy to guide you, same as Lizzie. They'll be happy to, guide you through. Because there's sometimes even the people that miss the meeting, if they come in, if they ask a question in the group, feel free to respond to them, anybody. And I truly appreciate you and your time. I look forward to seeing you in Kenya for a great time. And if you have any question, let us know. And we're gonna be in for a really, really good time.
Thank you, Morris.
Thank you. I'm gonna hang on for like.
Bye,
Thank
Morris.
you. Everybody have a
Thank
very
you.
good night. Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you, Morris.
Thank you. Bye bye.